Good morning. I'm Barbara Favola, Chair of the Arlington County Board. I'm in Potomac Overlook Park on a sunny fall day right here in Arlington. Joining me is the Chief Naturalist with the Northern Virginia Regional Park Authority, Martin Ogle.
Good morning, Barbara.
Good morning, Martin.
Glad you're here, and we're going to go on a walk through the woods today and see what we can find.
What a beautiful setting we're in.
Yeah, there's so much that people can miss if they don't get out a little bit and just see what's around them. Just take, for instance, the tree we're about to pass here. This tulip poplar is the largest tree, or at least one of the two largest trees in our park, and it's probably about 150 years old. They grow fairly fast, so it's already quite a large tree.
My, it is so impressive. It really sort of lifts your spirits just to look at it.
Takes it right up into the sky.
Yeah. This park must be full of wonderful treasures. I'm looking forward to you pointing out some of the most prominent ones.
Yeah, there's quite a lot of very interesting features, both natural history and our human history. Down at the bottom of the hill here, there's a spring site where the farmers built a little rock wall around the spring.
Oh!
Well, this is the rock wall built around the spring that I mentioned earlier, and it was built in 1912 by the local farmers. And of course it was always a spring, but it would have been kind of muddy and hard to get a dipper in there and so forth. So by putting in this wall, they were able to make an area easy to scoop water out of.
Well, Martin, I think I read somewhere that we have 2 miles of marked trails in the park.
We do. And
I also read that these trails converge to other trails that would take a visitor right along the Potomac.
Yeah, you can actually go down to Donaldson Run, one of our streams, and take that all the way down to the Potomac and walk along the river.
Wow, that would be a wonderful walk. Now, do you have information on those trails at the Nature Center?
At the Nature Center. People can come in the Nature Center and pick up a map or other information about our park.
So individuals could pick their trail based on the amount of time or the length of the trail and have a fine time. It would be well marked, safe, and very scenic.
Definitely, and we have lots of possibilities in terms of length and scenery.
That's great.
We're going to go over a little footbridge over the drainage from that spring that we saw earlier. Up the hill we go.
Now we're climbing not a steep hill, but a gentle hill. I think it's great that we have railroad ties on these hills, and the trails here seem to be very accessible to a wide range of Arlingtonians, not just those who are physically fit.
Well, absolutely. We've laid steps for people so that they can walk a little more easily up a steep section. We also have a place where we've placed a timber here, not as so much a step as a water diversion. We have a steep part of the trail where the water comes down and is shunted off the trail, and then the trail doesn't get eroded.
So inside this railroad tie is a pipe or a...
No, it's just simply the water in front that is channeled off to the side.
It just serves as a channel.
As a channel.
Oh, what a great idea.
So it ends up making our trails more aesthetically pleasing and easier to walk on as well.
Absolutely, that's great. Oh, look at this. This is a really large tree that unfortunately I guess was knocked down. Are you going to leave the tree here?
Well, it fell down probably about 15 years ago, and yes, we leave them in the woods where they fall. If they fall across a trail or if they fall across a road, of course we remove them. But this is habitat for all sorts of different animals, and it's turning into the soil, so we just leave it be.
Well, I guess this is how nature works, isn't it?
When it first fell over, it was about twice as wide. It's been slowly decomposing over the years.
Very interesting. Do you think there's a snake in there?
Well, who knows? Maybe a raccoon down in the thicker part of the tree.
Oh, well, we certainly don't want to disturb the wildlife.
Well, we'll leave this tree to be and go see another
okay.
spot in the park.
Okay. Well, Martin, how would I find my way through the park if I didn't have a tour guide like yourself helping me?
Well, you could pick up a map at the park, and if you look over here, there's a trail blaze right on the tree, and it's colored white. That designates that we're on the white trail here. And so you could correspond your walk to whichever length or area of the park that you wanted to by following the colored blazes.
Martin, it's fall. It's my favorite time of year. Can you tell me a little bit about what the Potomac Overlook Park really goes through during the fall season?
Well, as you might expect, we have the beautiful change leaves in October, and there's things that the animals and plants are doing to get ready for the winter, and we spend a lot of time telling school kids about that very topic. And just so happens that we're here at the site of the seasonal Indian village, and that also tells us about fall, because we think that the peoples that lived here about 2,000 years ago were around here during the spring and the summer, but then in the fall went back to the areas around the Chesapeake Bay to live.
Because of the weather conditions?
Because of the climate and because
Sure.
of the food availability and so forth.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So even thousands of years ago, people there was a big influence on those people by the seasons and the changing times of the year.
Martin, thank you for that brief historical summary.
It's an interesting place, isn't
Yes,
it?
it is. I'm anxious to learn more about our next spot.
All right, let's go see what we can discover.
Well, we're out of the trees, and I see we're coming to a lovely open space. My goodness, is that a sundial? I haven't seen a sundial in a very long time.
It is a sundial. We've placed a sundial here in this open space along with a lot of other features to kind of tell people about the history of this land. The sundial and the Indian circle garden tell us how important the four directions were to people. And here with this particular item we can tell the time. It looks like it's just a little after 12 noon by where the shadow is striking on the sundial. And all around us you'll notice some fruit trees. And back in
Yes.
the early 1900s, this was an orchard, and it was run by Miss Fanny White, who would sell her apples up in Cherrydale.
Oh, goodness.
So in memorial of that, we've planted a little orchard ourselves, and we have pears and apples and
And do you
plums.
harvest the fruit?
What's left over from the squirrels, we do.
So I have to ask you, what are the other opportunities for walking tours here in the park?
Well, as we've said, people can come on their own, of course, but they can come as a group, or they can sign up for one of our pre-scheduled programs. And people can call our park or look on our website to find out information about that. And there's lots of ways to get involved, but one way always is just to come and take a walk.
Do you have a phone number?
Our phone number is 703-528-5406.
Thank you very much for joining me today. It truly was a pleasure, and I have learned a great deal about Potomac Overlook Park.
Well, thanks for coming.
I'm Barbara Favola, and this concludes our walkabout in Potomac Overlook Park. These walkabouts are sponsored by the Walk Arlington program. If you would like to learn more about Walk Arlington, please contact the Walk Arlington webpage. Thank you for joining us today, and have a great day.